Hi, I'm Les Wilkinson with the law firm of Wilkinson Magruder, your Social Security disability attorneys. I'm here with my law partner, Andy Magruder, to answer some of your questions concerning the disability process. One of the questions always comes up, Andy, is what is the role of the guy or the woman in that hearing room who the judge asks questions to? And of course, that's the vocational expert. So Andy, tell us, what is the role of the vocational expert in the hearing process?
Great question, Les. And we hear this all the time. We explain this to our clients prior to the hearing so they'll understand what the role of vocational expert is. And typically what happens at a hearing is the claimant will testify first through questions answered or propounded by both the judge and the attorney. And then once the claimant testifies regarding their symptoms and their illnesses and their pain and other issues that prevent them from working, the judge will ask the vocational expert some questions about, first of all, the claimant's past relevant work, and ask the vocational expert to define that in terms of exertional and skill levels. And typically, past relevant work means work that's performed in the last 15 years that was done at SGA levels, that was done to be substantial gainful activity. And so the judge will ask the vocational expert this question. Let me back up and say this as well. The vocational expert at the hearing is not an employee of the Social Security Administration. These are independent vocational experts who work with private industry and private individuals trying to place them into jobs. So these are people who are not full-time employees or any employees they're not employed by the Social Security Administration. But the vocational expert will then classify the past relevant work in terms of the skill level and exertional level, and will give the DOT number, a very specific number identified.
What's the DOT?
That's the Dictionary of Occupational Titles, and it's an outdated publication produced by the U.S. government that lists numerous jobs, thousands of jobs, most of which no one's ever heard of or ever seen in action. But that's how the Social Security Administration defines work, the jobs out there. So the judge will first ask, well, based upon the limitations that I see this person has, can they do any of their past relevant work? Okay, which again is work done in the last 15 years in which they made a certain amount of money. And then the judge will ask the vocational expert, are there other jobs out there that this person can do? And this is where things get real tricky, because you've got to consider their educational level, skills that they may have acquired from their jobs, and whether they're transferable to easier type work. And the role of vocational expert in the hearing is critical, because the vocational expert's answers will determine whether a person is found disabled or not. And this is why it's so important, I can't stress this enough, when a claimant goes to a hearing, that they have a Social Security disability lawyer, a skilled, experienced Social Security disability lawyer helping them, because someone going in there by themselves or with a lawyer who does not practice Social Security disability law is not going to understand the role of the vocational expert, how to deal with the vocational expert, how to ask questions to the vocational expert, and how to get the best responses to ensure that their client gets the best possible outcome.
And Andy, one of the reasons someone ought to have someone experienced with Social Security disability to go with them to the hearing, such as you and I, is because we know what is important for the vocational expert to understand about use of, for instance, your hands. Because just think of how many jobs require good use of the hands. People that are assembling fine items, people that are typing, people that are writing, people are doing a lot of different delicate work with their hands. If they've got a condition, arthritis, it could be any type of thing. They might have had scars in their hands that limit the ability to use their hands. That makes a difference in what jobs the vocational expert might say are out there. Because, for instance, if somebody the last 15 years, all they've done is typing, and they can't use their hands for typing, then that eliminates the job they did, and it could very well eliminate other jobs. Because if you can't use your hands, there's not much you can do.